Great evening, everyone, and welcome on to Mother Nurture. If this is your first time tuning in, I am honored to be your host, Kiana Alexander, with a total Team Unstoppable summertime takeover. So, if you haven't heard, being a nurturer isn't limited to being a parent, nor is it limited to being a specific gender. With that said, you simply have to have the desire and the ability to tend to the needs of other people. And we'd like to extend a special warm welcome to any men that may be viewing this evening, as it is vital the role that you play in encouraging and uplifting the youth of our community. On that note, we'd like to extend a super special thank you to our dear friend Troy Richardson, who gave us this opportunity to reach out to you and to uplift your family. We'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible work that Troy's been doing with the Women's Health Ministry. They're taking their purpose of seeking first the kingdom and combining it with nutritional education to help families all over. And that also reminds us of a very special person, the late, great Dorothy Richardson, who's Troy Richardson's mother. She also did phenomenal work throughout her community. She was avid in her choir. She was very involved in her church and a very loving nurse. On that note, we have some exceptional women that'll be joining us this evening. We have a terrific panel of speakers who make a positive impact on their community. We'll be joined by Suzanne Smith, who's a wellness ambassador and a scout mom out of South Jersey, as well as fitness instructor, goal getter, and glamour Nellie Diaz out of Pennsylvania. But before we speak to them, we also have our fantastic host, Elsie Gould Matthews, who is a certified health coach, and they are all a part of Team Unstoppable. We'll be happy to be sharing with you this evening. So now that school's out for the summer and the kids are home, we have some questions for our moms that are on a mission to see how they are keeping their families happy and healthy this summer. Elsie?
I am so excited to chat with these amazing moms tonight and to get some very helpful insights and tips for all of us to share um, with our families so we can keep our families happy and healthy as well. So, my first question, we'll start with our mom panel, Suzanne and then Nellie. We have a little more freedom than we had last summer. So, how do you intend to enjoy summer vacation? How do you intend to travel with your family? Are you lucky enough to do some traveling? And how will you keep the family happy and healthy this summer? So, let's go to Suzanne and then we'll weigh in with Nellie.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I have two children. Their ages 9 and 5, and we like to vacation at the shore. So to keep it happy and healthy, I usually pack them some like raisins or bananas and apples and things like that in our beach bag to go to the beach. So they always have a healthy snack to have when we are away. And I always try to just provide them with as much fruits and vegetables during the summer that I can. While we're enjoying the beach. So that's all I have. I'd love to hear what other moms have to say and how they keep their children happy and healthy in the summer.
That's wonderful, Suzanne. Some really good tips. And now we'll hear from Nellie.
Good evening, everyone. I have two grandsons, and when it's summertime, I spend as much time as I can with them outdoors, and to have them eat healthy, I pack them in a cooler. I take a lot of easy on the go fruits like grapes and celery sticks for veggies and natural peanut butter or any good healthy dips along with that. And so for treats also at home, you can freeze fruits and vegetables and like bananas, sliced apples, and pour some dark chocolate sauce on it, and it tastes so yummy. And that's what I have to share with you today for that question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nellie. Those are some really great tips you ladies shared. We're going to go to our second question. which kind of piggybacks on the first question. Share some recent mom wins, either while you're on the go or at home or traveling, maybe something that you didn't know the kids or the grandkids even liked that they, suddenly started eating. I know my grandson, he didn't used to like carrots, and now, I got some carrots out with the hummus, and he started eating the carrots, and he said, "Oh, I like carrots now. I'm like a bunny." So I'm like, "Oh, well, excuse me." So I think it's so exciting when they try new things. So Nellie, do you have anything to share? Any mom wins that you could share with us along those lines?
Yes, I sure do. And it just happened recently. I was preparing lunch for my grandkids, and my 5-year-old grandson, I asked him if he wanted broccoli for veggies, and he said yes. So I asked him to go to the fridge and grab me the broccoli so I could prepare it for him. And he came out with Brussels sprouts. And that kind of surprised me because at his age, I didn't know what sprouts were. And I really didn't start eating them until a few years ago. So that was my mom win there.
Wow, that's really wonderful. They have really elevated taste buds for such a young age. I didn't like Brussels sprouts as a kid either. They were always all mushy and they just were not good. But I do love them now. Crispy Brussels sprouts are one of my favorites. So thank you for sharing that. Suzanne, do you have any mom wins that you would like to share?
Well, I know when we go into the grocery store with my children, I always see the popsicles that they sell, in the freezer section. So I've started to actually make popsicles at home. We kind of blend up some strawberries and bananas or different fruits that we have in the house. And I bought them, they were able to pick out their own popsicle holders at the store, and they have their own set of popsicle holders. So they help me make the popsicles, and they pour them into their cups, and then they're like, "Oh, when can we eat them? Is it time to eat them yet?" I say, "Oh, you have to wait a couple hours." So that way it's a healthy popsicle for them, and they're getting their fruits in it. So that's my mom win for the summer. It keeps them nice and cool, and it's healthy without all the added sugar that you might find at some popsicles that you might buy somewhere else. So
Thank you, Suzanne, for sharing that. That's amazing. I think it's also great that they're involved in making what they're going to eat. It adds an activity to it as well. So thank you for that. And now I think Kiana is going to introduce a new concept we're going to ask some questions about.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. The different ways that we can get the fruits into our families. And another new exciting thing is a gardening trend that is picking up all over the globe. We're talking about aeroponic gardening, making it super simple to garden without dirt, digging, kneeling, or weeding. You can even do it in small spaces, which means that you can do it on balconies or in the corner of your room. Anyone can do it. People with a green thumb, black thumb, older people, younger people, it's for everyone. So let's talk about how tower gardens are helping families to get healthier.
All right, this is an excellent topic and one of my favorites. So, we know that diet and lifestyle choices are generally passed down within the family from parents to children. So my question is, how do you think Tower Garden can help families get more veggies into their diet? So we'll go to Suzanne with that question first.
well, I recently got a tower garden for my birthday this year, and my kids really enjoyed putting it together with me. They enjoy filling it up with water, and then they enjoy watching it grow. And then I'll say to them, "Oh, look, here's a cucumber's ready," and they get to take the cucumber off. Or the cherry tomatoes don't even make it back into the house. They pick them up right off the tower garden into their mouth, and they're gone. So they really love to just walk out on our deck and see which vegetables are growing. And right now we've got some honeydew out there growing, and they're just excited to see it grow, and they want to eat it as soon as it's ready. So we're really enjoying our tower, and I think it's great for the kids because it's kind of like a STEM. They can science, technology, engineering, and math. They can see how things are grown, and then they're going to want to eat what they have participated in helping out with. So.
Thank you for that, Suzanne. And I saw some of your pictures on social media, the tomatoes and that the melon growing. How exciting. And I'm sure it's a lot of fun for the kids as well. Nellie, do you have something you'd like to share about your tower garden?
Well, what I have to share is that kind of like what Suzanne summarized there. It brings the family together. It sparks interest, excitement, and anticipation. And you watch it, you plant the seed, you watch it sprout, grow, and it's very economical and readily available to consume right there at your fingertips. And it doesn't get better than that. And those are my thoughts for that question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nellie. All right, so now we're going to delve just a little bit deeper. We have some special guests with us tonight. So let's introduce our experts to get their opinion on the subject matter. So I want to first introduce Nyamka Joseph. She's a functional nutrition coach. And we're also going to introduce Helena Mariscott, a chronic disease specialist. But first, we're going to start with Naya. In your expert opinion, how can Tower Garden provide support for better family health when working to break the cycle of food addiction? And do you think families getting healthy together is important?
Absolutely. Great questions, Elsie. And like Nellie said, I think the Tower Garden allows us to have fresh vegetables at our fingertips. And I strongly believe our environment is one of the biggest influences in what we eat. So having it around encourages us to eat it more often. It also has the added advantage of teaching children about farming and what it means to grow and eat real food, right? Getting healthy together is extremely important because our children will do what we do more than what we say. And that's how I believe the Tower Garden helps to support the family's health overall.
Thank you so much for that, Naya. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper. And we're going to start with Naya again and then go to Helena. So I'm just curious, what inspired you to go into the nutrition field? And how do you think whole food concentrated nutrition can help you in coaching your clients to adapt to a healthier lifestyle?
Well, Elsie, for me, I was personally searching for answers. I have struggled with polycystic ovary syndrome all of my life, which made conceiving my first child rather difficult. It was a change in my diet, actually going vegan, that my body began to perform and ovulate consistently. Up until my mid-30s, I had never had a regular cycle. And then once I went vegan, I changed my diet. After that, I was able to conceive. Whole food concentrated nutrition is an easy way to ensure that my clients are getting the recommended 10 to 13 servings of fruit and vegetables on a daily basis, especially those busy moms who don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen. From my personal experience, I know what role diet plays in our health and wellness. And concentration nutrition is a great option to help bridge that gap.
Thank you so much for that, Naya. So important for people to hear how nutrition ties into your health. So thank you for sharing that. So now we're going to go to Helena. So same question, Helena, what inspired you to go into the nutrition field, and how does whole food concentrated nutrition help you in coaching your clients adapt to a healthier lifestyle? All right, Helena, are you there? Did we lose her?
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry about that. I'm driving and I probably went to a bad area. But to answer your question, what drove me into nutrition is that I came from a corporate marketing background of junk food for many, many years, and found that a lot of the foods that one grows on from the time they're a kid to the time that they're an adult, those food choices really do matter, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So I decided to take a totally change a totally separate career track to get into nutrition. So I started off at a later stage, but when I got into it, I was really impressed by the concept of concentrated nutrition. Why? Because it solves the issue of busy people on the run. While we all have good intentions to have our servings of fruits and vegetables daily, life gets in the way. We're busy at work, we're busy in transit, there's so much going on that sometimes we can't get to sitting down and having a wholesome, real food meal. So I think this is a great solve for that. And it really does bridge the gap so that those who really want to maintain the healthy diet can do so through the Juice Plus whole food nutrition as a solution. That's what it is. It's a solution. We're all looking for solutions, and that's definitely one of them.
Thank you so much, Helena, and we appreciate you making yourself available, even though you're kind of in the middle of some things, but thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go to our next question, and I'm going to direct this one to Nellie. So Nellie, as a fitness expert, what do you think is the biggest obstacle that you have found most people encounter when trying to change their diet or make lifestyle changes?
Well, I find that it's the need for instant gratification and time. And what I mean by that is that when people don't see immediate results, they become discouraged and start to lack focus and motivation. And my advice is don't give up. Find people that are have similar minded goals and that are going through similar experiences as you, and through community support groups, explore what resources and education are available to you. And that's what I have to say on that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nellie. All right, we're gonna go with Naya. Same question. What's the biggest obstacle you found most people encounter?
Consistency. Most of my clients struggle with consistency. And what I love about the capsules is that they are consistent when we are not. And what I mean by that is when we miss food prep for the week, and so we have to go through the drive-through, we know that we can still take our capsules on a daily basis and get the nutrition that we need. They become the great equalizer when we are on and off our game. Back to you, Elsie.
Thank you, Naya. I believe Helena has something to add to the subject as well. So what do you think is the biggest obstacle that most people encounter when trying to make a change in their diet or make a lifestyle change?
I'm sorry, Elsie, we went out. Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, what's the biggest obstacle you found most people encounter when trying to change their diet or make a lifestyle change?
I would agree with Naya on consistency. I think people are motivated, particularly during times, let's say if they're getting married or it's summertime and everyone wants to get into their outfits and all. But then maintaining that motivation becomes such a struggle for a lot of people. And so the question is, when you fall off your A game, how do you get back on without giving up? I think that progress is the most important thing, no matter what goes wrong. But as far as the capsules, I would completely agree that when you have that, it's always a good fallback. You never have to be concerned that, okay, there's, my day is done and I've screwed up. I went, like she said, I went through the drive-through and I ate 5 burgers and, it's the end of the world. No, it's not the end of the world. You can still take your capsule and still get the nutrition that your body needed for that day. So to just your day-to-day lifestyle and not feel the sense of guilt and we all fall short, there's always that time when we just don't do what we're supposed to do when it comes to healthy eating. So this is a great way around it.
Thank you for that, Helena. Appreciate you taking the time out to answer that question for us. So let's go to Kiana. We're going to change the subject up a little bit.
Yes, certainly. It seems like it's a really common problem is being consistent, remaining motivated, that accountability, support, all those things. And something I'm super passionate about that's made it possible for our family to get healthier is the Healthy Starts for Families program, because it's super affordable and it's convenient to motivate entire households to establish more healthful habits. There's actually over 1.5 million families worldwide that have seen such positive results with this study. How about you and your family, Elsie?
Well, I know at my house, with my grandkids, they love the complete shakes because they love to make up their own delicious smoothie recipes. It's good to engage the kids and let them decide what do they want to put in their smoothie. They get really super excited about, the ingredients that they want to put in their smoothie. So, building the smoothie, helping me build the smoothie, they love that. And they also love the gummies. And I love the fact that they get them for free. And I love that when they eat their gummies, they're going to crave more healthier options instead of all the junk food. So let's ask our moms, are you taking advantage of the Kids Eat Free with the Healthy Starts for Families program? Do your kids love the gummies, the shakes? What's the family favorite at your house? So let's start with Suzanne for that, and then we'll go to Naya.
Hi, yes, my family is on the Healthy Starts for Families plan. My two children take the gummies every day. I don't want my son to be chewing the gummies, so we put them in his drink, and he gets the gummies, I would say, microdosed all day long. Just keep filling up his drink until they're all gone. And my daughter likes to chew the gummies, so that's really good for them. They're getting their fruits and vegetables first thing in the morning. Even for my picky eater, my son, who doesn't eat a whole lot of vegetables, I know he's going to be getting the amount of servings that he needs. My husband and I put the capsules in our shakes every day for breakfast. And we also like one of the recipes, we make an energy balls recipe. And they like to help make that with some gluten-free oats and raisins and stuff like that. So they're craving more fruits and vegetables, having the capsules and things like that. So we're really enjoying the Healthy Starts for Families plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. And now we'll go to Naya with the same question. Do you make shakes at your house? Do the kids love the gummies? What's a favorite at your house, Naya?
So yes, I have lots of favorites actually, but
Okay, Rocky, go downstairs.
my kids, my 5-year-old actually is in charge of making sure that everybody gets their gummies. So he makes sure, he's the boss, he makes sure that the 11-year-old gets his gummies as well. That is his job, and he takes it very, very seriously. I am blessed because I have kids that love to cook in the kitchen with me. And we recently actually did the oatmeal bars, and we used the complete protein, the vanilla complete protein, and it was a hit. My 5-year-old loved it. He said, you know what, Mom, this is going to be my breakfast this week. So it was gone before like 24, 48 hours. So it didn't even last a week because they enjoyed them so much. And those are my favorites. Those are some of the things that's happening over here in our home concerning the Healthy Starts for Families.
All right, thank you, Naya. So, there's so many recipes. You mentioned some of them, but there's so many recipes that you can make with the complete shakes, pancakes, waffles, cookies, energy balls, smoothies, and more. And we have a brand new Summertime Snacks for Kids cookbook, along with a whole series of cookbooks. So, I want to ask you, but I also want to ask our audience as well, have you made any of the recipes from the cookbook, or what is your favorite healthy recipe that your family loves? So my question for you specifically, Nye, is have you tried any of the healthy recipes from any of the cookbooks or any of the new healthy recipes that the entire family loves? And our audience can just put their answer right in the chat and we're going to share that, or we want everyone else to see what the favorites are.
So yes, Elsie, I am one of those rare people who actually love to experiment in the kitchen. So I've tried quite a few of the recipes. The cauliflower grits were delicious. We've recently made a fruit dip to go with our fruit kebabs. We also made the roasted chickpeas, which were awesome. I actually I ate a few just as a snack in my hand, because that's how I usually buy them in the store, but now I can make my own, thanks to the cookbook. But I also used them to put them in a wrap as a veggie wrap. And I added my guacamole. Guacamole is one of the recipes in there. And I added some other vegetables. I took some lettuce from my tower and I made a gluten-free wrap as well. But if I had to choose a favorite, only if I had to choose a favorite, I would say one of our favorites is the mango sorbet. And that's kind of some of the things that we've tried in our home with the recipes and the cookbooks. I think they're a great resource, particularly for those who like to experiment and try new things in the kitchen.
Thank you for that, Naya. And I love seeing you share those recipes, and that mango sorbet looks so good. I've seen you post that a couple of times. So thank you for sharing that. So we're gonna have Kiana check in and see if we got any responses in the chat for any healthy recipes that people love. And did any of the other moms try any of the recipes in the cookbook that they wanna share? All right, so we got to get the moms busy with the cookbooks. Actually, get the kids busy with the cookbooks, right?
Yeah, I know that Vanika, when she was on that virtual with Naya, that they ended up showing us the roasted chickpeas with the seasoning. That was a great one. Nellie has also told us about a tuna-less tuna that's also made with chickpeas. And in the chat, we saw that Suzanne and her family make delicious protein pancakes. They are also a huge hit at our house. Since the complete is made with all plant-based pea protein, it's definitely something that you're able to make, you can cook with. And we see that Tony put that they do chicken Caesar salads with boiled brown eggs and turkey bacon bits, which is a great alternative to doing pork bacon. So those are the fun, delicious recipes that we have here in the chat. This whole talk has been so insightful, and I'm excited to hear more. But I think we're going to have to start to wrap up our talk so we have some more great things that we can talk about in August. So for right now, let's go back and ask our mom panel and our experts one final question, Elsie.
All right, thank you, Kiana, and thank you for everyone that gave us some delicious recipes that we all can try. So, we have to wrap it up now. So let's go to our final question, and that is, what final tips do you have for parents to steer clear of the fast food drive-through, and any final thoughts for keeping the family happy, and healthy over the summer? So just share one or two thoughts. And let's try to go a quick round to all of our moms. So let's start with our mom panel. Suzanne, you have any tips for us? One or two tips?
Well, I usually say we start the day with fruit on our plates. I try to limit the carbs that my children have. So at least they are starting the day with their fruits, whether we have strawberries or blueberries. You can make it fun. You could make a pancake and put a smiley face on it with your bananas and strawberries and blueberries or something. You could give them some cookie cutters to make them their own little shapes with the pancakes that you make that are healthier. Just anything that you could make at home yourself. You could make it a lot healthier than a fast food restaurant will. My children love Chick-fil-A. I'm like, I can do that at home, and I can make it healthier than a Chick-fil-A would make it. So we try to just make it fun, I think, for the kids. And I think that's the key. If you make it fun for them, they will be more receptive to eating the fruits and vegetables.
Thank you so much for that, Suzanne. And I'm sure, hey, that if it works great with your kids, it'll work for other kids too, right? All right, Nellie, do you have any final tips, one or two tips that you like to share?
Sure. I would say find more affordable protein options, which keeps you fuller throughout the day. And also sticking to a shopping list, and prepare the food in advance. And you may freeze it. And there was another one I had, which is the local shopping at a local farmer's market. And that way the family can enjoy and learn about different things that are being grown in season. And you're helping the community by doing so as well.
Thank
Back
you,
to you,
Nellie. And I'm
Elsie.
sure saving money too when you buy things in season, right?
Yes.
So let's go with our expert panel now. So we'll first go to Naya, and then we'll close it out with Helena with the final tips or final thoughts that you have, 1 or 2 tips to share.
So the first thing I want to say or echo is to have fun. I always say it's okay to play with your food when you're cooking in the kitchen. So experiment, try new things, have your children get involved with cooking, let them choose the recipe that they'd like to cook. And then maybe take the challenge, and Suzanne kind of hinted to this, to recreate a healthy version of their favorite fast food meal. I actually had a girlfriend once who did the Chick-fil-A sandwich, got a couple of extra bags from Chick-fil-A and just put it in the bag, and they didn't even know the difference. So those are my tips to keep it fun and have fun and eat healthy as a family during the summer.
Wow, excellent tips, Naya. So thoughtful and resourceful too. All right, Helena, let's hear your thoughts, final thoughts and tips for keeping the family happy and healthy over the summer.
Well, I would say the most important thing is to be prepared. There's going to be times when you and your children get hunger pains, right? So have something always on hand. Have those snacks on hand that are healthy so that you would avoid the temptation of going through the drive-through. And when it comes to the gummies, what works for me is that when I get that sugar fix and I need something sweet just because, that is my go-to instead of, some of the other alternative options that are not so healthy. So, we all get those sugar fixes. They come at any point in time. So for me, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know what it is with that 3 o'clock hour where I just want something sweet. So if I don't have a fruit, or I will have the fruit gummies, and it works for me. I've satisfied the craving. And it's great for kids. Kids will adapt to that way of living as well, because you have stuff on hand for them.
All right, thank you, Helena. So much valuable information we have learned here today with our moms and our nutrition experts. And I'm so excited to put some of these things in action when my grandkids get back. So we're all done now, Kiana. So back to you.
This was wonderful. I'm so excited to try some of these things. Just like you said, Elsie, we definitely love to travel. We're out and about, but we know there's some families that they find their kids are bored. So these are great ideas to help them out, to eat better, to keep them active, to remain hydrated. We heard that consistency is key, that you could use motivation, you could benefit from community. There's also convenient ways to try and make sure that you get those good things into your family that they might be a little resistant to. We have options for bland eaters, picky eaters, or people that just plain protest and resist. We also have awesome cookbooks that, if we didn't already tell you, they're complimentary, but only you know that because you showed up this evening. So if you want to know a little more about our cookbooks, the virtual cooking classes, any of the fantastic programs we shared with you, or ways that you can start to get healthier, please reach out to the person that invited you this evening, because we would be happy to help you. We'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll also share with you this phenomenal summertime blitz that we are in the middle of. Like, I cannot say enough about it. It's unprecedented, so exciting. Shout it from the rooftops, tell your mama, bring your friends, tell everybody about it. So we're also excited to say that Team Unstoppable has been renewed for another season. We thought it was just a summertime takeover, but thanks to you and your support, we're here to stay, and we'll see you again next month, August 20th. But guess what? You don't have to wait till then to get your nutritional fix. You can join us tomorrow evening for insights from professionals of color who help others with incredible urban farming all over the world. We're talking about the Hicks sisters and all the wonderful work that they do. I'm going to drop that information here for you right now. If you don't catch it tomorrow, but I do recommend that you do your best to get on. It does happen every Saturday at 8 p.m. The information is there in the chat for you. If you missed it, no worries. Just reach out. We're always happy to share with you. So do your best to share this information with any families who could benefit from this information. It's uplifting, it's powerful, and people need to know about it. Until then, if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. We're so happy to have you today. Please stick around with any questions, comments, and thank you so much for joining us.